you are right. The ABC News poll out just in the last 10 or 15 minutes says that a majority of Americans, 63%, believe that the charges against Trump in Georgia, those election interference charges, are either serious or somewhat serious. 63%. That's in line with 65% of Americans in the same poll believe the federal election interference charges are also serious. And this is now a lot of disturbing numbers for the former president piling up, Reverend Sharpton. Also, one other number jumped out at me in this new ABC poll. 50%, fully half of Americans, 50%, think that Donald Trump should suspend his presidential campaign because of all the legal problems he's facing.
And I think that last part is the most devastating. When you have half of those polls saying he ought not even be in the race, and you have the majority of his opponents acting like he is still something that should be respected in the race, it shows how far out of sync they are with their own following. And it comes from really asking who they are. I mean, Joe and I talk a lot about how at one point Mrs. Coretta Scott King said to me, you got to identify, Al, as you grow nationally, who you are. And sometimes you have to go against the louder voices in your crowd to say, this is who I am. They show no real inside conviction that they're against the criminality as well as the demagoguery of Donald Trump, and it will lead to their demise.
Yeah, and there are two realities here. There's the reality, and again, I'll just say it, it's a Murdoch paper. If you want to read the reality in the Wall Street Journal news section, if you want to read the AP, Reuters, forget about New York Times. If you don't like the Times, if you don't like MSNBC, forget about that. Go to again, go to the Wall Street Journal.
Go to legitimate
news
operations.
Right. But the problem is, if you listen to Republican candidates, if you listen to people on other news channels at times that are talking about this, there's some that are really good and really straightforward. But a lot of the others present an alternative reality that is really not bothered. It doesn't harm me. Doesn't harm Mika. Doesn't harm Claire McCaskill. No, it harms the Republican Party because they keep losing because they're in an alternative reality. Something I've been talking about for years, and this is really, it's getting more dramatic here.
It is
Will
dramatic.
they continue? Will Tim Scott tomorrow, with 62% of independents saying that what he did was illegal, with the majority of Americans saying what he did was illegal, with Fox News polls saying 53% saying it was illegal, with half of Americans saying he should suspend his campaign, will somebody running against him really tomorrow when asked when 63% of Americans say these charges are serious in Georgia and 65% say they're serious on the January 6th case? Will Republican candidates for president, when asked whether it's serious or not, agree with the 65%, or will they just blabber about the, what do they call it, the weaponization of justice? Nobody believes that.
Okay.
Like, you're talking, it's like people in the bubble believe that.
Yeah.
And so that's not the way forward to victory. That's the way forward to me saying next year, they lost in 17, they lost in 18, they lost in 19, they lost in 20, they lost in 21, they lost in 22, they lost in 23, they lost in 24. Do you really want that? Do you want to keep losing for a guy who won't even sign a loyalty pledge to you?